Hey everyone, it's Matt Freeman from ewoodart.com coming at you from Gold Hill, Oregon with the weekly barrel review. Today we've got some Corralejo tequila. It'll be my beverage of choice as it usually is. Came with this fancy little shot glass that matches the bottle. And yes, it's Hecho in Mexico and Hecho in oak barrel. So it is barrel aged. About 30 bucks a bottle. Pretty good reposado tequila. Today our episode's going to focus on oak alternatives. To understand what oak alternatives are for and what they do, we have to understand what a barrel does. Why do we use barrels for aging wine or beer or whiskey? Barrels were first made so that somebody could easily manipulate it by themselves, and they could store a liquid and you could put it away. It wasn't really intended that you would get flavors from it, and maybe even the oxygenation that you would get out of the barrel was not even an intended reason. They have this chine around the edge so that you can grab it and you can manipulate it and roll it around, and that's also why they're curved and rounded. It wasn't until later that we started seeing, people started seeing flavors that they're getting leached out of the wood. Speaking of flavors, whew, that's good. A little strong. Whew. Some wood has a tighter grain than other woods, and that is actually going to affect the flavors. And what we're getting is they call it oak extraction. So when the wine or beer is in the barrel for long enough, it's actually extracting these tannins and flavors from the barrel and putting it into the wine. Wine barrels are also very expensive these days. For a new French oak barrel, $800 to $1,500 a barrel. And when wineries are looking at using, 20 barrels in a smaller winery, or some of them thousands of barrels, it's getting expensive fast. First, we're going to talk to Craig McFeeters from Bricktown Brewery in Medford, Oregon. He's going to tell us about why he uses oak alternatives and what they do for him. Check it out.
Our business is Bricktown Brewing Company. We're a full on-premise brewery with a 5-barrel brewing system, and we also feature a full restaurant. The business consists of myself and Scott Parker. We use French oak chips. They're chipped up French oak barrels, and they're actually not used barrels, they are fresh. And we soak them in Pendleton whiskey, and then we add that back to the secondary fermentation phase of the porter. We call it Whiskey Canyon Porter. It's got a nice porter roastiness to it with a very mild hint of whiskey and oak flavor. It's not overdone, it's just in the back notes. The largest advantage of using the oak chips versus a barrel is storability. And since we're downtown, we really have no area to store barrels. A barrel is about 60 gallons, and you have to have barrel racks to really store them in a smaller space. And you should have a forklift, which we have neither of those. Also with chips, we're guaranteed consistency of flavor. Sometimes you may only have Cabernet barrels that are available, or maybe the different whiskeys like what's that, Wild Turkey. You can get Wild Turkey barrels sometimes, and you get Jack Daniel's barrels sometimes. But then I think you compromise your consistency of your beer, because your beer will taste different depending on which barrel it's in. For consistency and storability reasons, oak chips are completely the way to go. So there are American oak chips and French oak chips. We find that the toastiness and the almost nutty-like flavors are more imparted from the French oak. So I hate to use the term dirty, but it's almost like they're a dirtier oak, more earthy, more ashy. The American oak is a cleaner. So if I'm going for an oak beer, I want an oak aged beer. I want it to have some oak to it.
Wow, that's pretty cool how they soak them into Pendleton. No wonder that gunslinger was so good. All right, so Craig kind of explained to us what he uses chips for, and there's a variety of these different oak alternatives. You have chips, you have shavings. He mentioned the spirals. Another oak alternative is an insert. The big company that does inserts is Innerstave. They're out of Sonoma, and we've got a video for you from Innerstave. The video shows their coopers going to a winery to remove the heads out of the barrel. They pop the hoops off, they pull the head out, and then they put these slats in the barrel. And the slats, of course, are toasted to whatever level you want, and they provide new oak inside the barrel. So let's check it out. Well, while we're watching that, I'm going to reference something off Innerstave's website. I really recommend you go over to their website, innerstave.com, and you can read up more about different toast levels and the different characteristics that you'll get from different woods, like American oak or French oak, heavy toast versus light toast versus medium plus toast. French oak, medium plus toast, they say you'll get a well-defined toasted oak characteristics, aromas of vanilla, toffee, butterscotch, chocolate, coconut, cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove. The flavors provide sweetness, creaminess, and roundness to the mouthfeel with a lingering, pronounced toast character. Yum! Give me some of that. Sounds pretty good. And of course, that's going to be different than if you had an American oak barrel with a light toast. So go over to innerstave.com, check out, they've got all kinds of different oak alternatives, and there's a lot to learn just from looking at their products. So as a parting gift, I wanted to give you guys something funny. I found this video on YouTube on one of my favorite channels by The Boring Wine Guy. I recommend you subscribe to him. All his videos are very entertaining. And this video is called Shit Wine Drinkers Say. Enjoy.
I smell cork. Hint of cedar? Blackberries. Definitely blackberries. You need to take a bite of your food first, then drink your wine. If you do it the other way around, it's completely wrong. I'm tasting some dark stone fruit. Are you getting stone fruit? What exactly is dark stone fruit? You're doing it wrong. I don't want to sound like a wine snob. I don't mean to sound like a wine snob. If it's not a single vineyard Pinot, it's really not worth drinking.
Yeah, if you guys love barrels as much as I do, then be sure to stop by our website, ewoodart.com. We have a variety of barrel carvings, tasting tables, and barrel signs and barrel clocks. You can customize your own design or choose one of ours out of our galleries. Check it out.